All right, I'm back out here. I'm in an urban creek, and before I could even start rolling, this guy was running around across the bottom in this shallow, somewhat clear water. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put him back, but that's kind of the intro for this video. So I'm gonna just be kind of herping, walking around, doing kind of what I always do. And we're gonna be looking and seeing what we can get. I have a few places I'm gonna hit today. Let's see what we get today. Right now it's looking pretty good. Has kind of a fall feel. It's a lot cooler overnight. Not getting as hot during the day. And we'll see if that ends up helping. And right here, look at this. I mean, that right there. So that's where alligator snappers are using this undercut bank. You can actually see where it's hollow under there, where they like just continually work the bank. But so they're actually using that. And if you look right here, there's a root system of the base of a tree. That's what they like to get up underneath. So we know there's alligator snappers here. Probably not going to see one during the day, but I do see a loggerhead musk turtle right here. So loggerhead number 2 while filming the intro. Let's see. Look at that. That is a small male. Woo! And he is ready to defend himself, but looks good. So yeah, we're just going to get a quick look at this guy, let him go, see what else we can see. So far, off to a good start. All right, so here we are. This is a shallow area, and actually a shallow area where I found a variety of turtles. I mean, pretty much every native freshwater turtle in this area I've pretty much found for some reason on this exact shallow spot right here. So gonna be looking pretty closely. Honestly, like I mentioned earlier, there are alligator snappers here. I'm kind of hoping I don't find any because I don't have any of my workup gear. So if I find one, I'm not gonna be able to get any measurements or data on it. So hoping I can find other stuff, but just not one of those guys today because that would sting a bit. All right, so these days I cannot go anywhere without walking into the web of one of these guys. This is a Joro spider. These guys have become invasive here, and I believe they originate from Japan or Asia, and they are everywhere, and they have just like the thickest web. I mean, sometimes it feels like, it's on my face. Sometimes it feels like fishing line. All of this, all the way to here, is normally underwater, under a couple feet of water typically. So yeah, water's really low right now. All right, so far I've caught probably a handful of musk turtles. You guys have seen me do that a million times, so I don't film all of them. I do like make a few shorts and reels here and there because I feel like that's a pretty good use of that time. But I am seeing that the water's low, and if you look right here, this is classic alligator snapping turtle where they take these thicker mussels, bust them up. You can see like they've dug up the bottom. See there's a pit there, dug up there, dug up there. So there is a larger alligator snapping turtle that has been coming up here at night to feed and digging up these mussels. You can see this is got that purple on the inside. They just crush these up, and that's like one of their favorite foods, and why the alligator snappers here in this area have these tremendous heads. And you know, they're built for crushing stuff, and I am just seeing tons and tons and tons of crushed shells right here, meaning this alligator snapping turtle's been hanging out here feeding, and then this is where he's essentially pooped out all those crushed shells. So we're in the vicinity of where one likes to hang out. Are we gonna see it? I'm not sure. And just like I said, I was saying, I don't have my measuring tools, so I really hope I don't find an alligator snapper. And of course, I found one, and it's underneath this rock. So I'm gonna try and pull it out. All right, so I can't make this up. I'm carrying this guy, and then I look over under this bush. Sure enough, there's a macrocheles over there too. So it looks like the dropping waters kind of pushed these guys into some weird places. So I'm gonna figure out how I'm gonna get some data off of this one. This one, I believe, is one I've caught before. So I think this one's a recapture. I'm pretty sure I know exactly which turtle this one is. All right, so I'm kind of in a dilemma. I don't have any of my workup gear. It's funny because I can actually see the carapace on that male over there. He's in shallow water, and I'm looking at the rocks around me, and this water is dropping rapidly, and he's about to be pretty vulnerable. I don't really want anybody or anything to get to him, so normally I catch him further downstream where it's a little deeper. So I'm thinking if I pull him out of his hide, which isn't much of a hide, I actually see him moving right now. I think he's getting agitated by the water drop, and it's just dropping faster I may pull him out. We're just gonna look him over. He's a recapture. I actually just released him back in April. And so it's been less than a year, so not really gonna be much in the way of data to get off of him other than a GPS point, which is fantastic. Just get him downstream to where he can actually fully submerge himself and not be vulnerable to, not really predators, but I do worry about like kind of dumb people coming here and messing with him or, you know, hurting him. All right, so one of the neat things about this turtle is the last time I saw him, he actually had a much more swollen foot, and that's from combat with another male. And it looks like that foot is doing much better. Even though the bones are essentially pulverized in that foot, it is doing much better. Before it was really red and inflamed and had some infection going on, but looks like he's doing much better now. All right, and so if we're looking at this turtle, you can actually see this is number 10, and you can see the notch I put right there. And then this is the number 2 scute, and that's the number 4 scute. So this is number 10, 2, 4. So this guy is number 16 in my study here in this area, and just an awesome animal. I mean, he's just stunning. Looks great with some of those early fall leaves in the background, and just an impressive animal. Always stoked when I get to see this guy. And there's so many things they're eating right now. They're gonna be eating the clams, the snails, the mussels. They're gonna be eating small musk turtles. But right now there's also persimmons falling into the stream. And so he's gonna be running around eating all those little persimmons. He's also gonna be eating things like acorns are also beginning to fall. They love to eat those acorns. And you kind of start to see on the edges of the jaws some of that black buildup. And that's from the tannins when they're eating those acorns, kind of create a sticky black tannin surface on the jaws. And you can see when he gets into that water, he just looks fantastic. You can see all those beautiful colors in the clear water. Just an amazing looking animal. So cool to watch him move through this stream like this. You can also see, like when you stand back, it's just how big and impressive he is, but also the ability to be that big and impressive and then just to tuck himself into like the smallest spot. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him. As you can see, this is barely deep enough for his shell. We're gonna get him into somewhere deeper, a little bit further downstream. I know a tree that he likes to hide under, so I think we're gonna get him back to that. And this way he's gonna be safe from any weirdos that might try to mess with him, you know, other than me. All right, just released him back into some deep water. You can kind of see he's gonna head under this big down tree. So this is the nearest downstream pool. This is where if the water was higher, he would have headed to. There's like a big cavernous area underneath these tree roots. Great place for him to hide out during the rest of the day, get himself situated, and then at night he can come back out. If he wants to go back upstream, he can. He'll be limited by how low the water is, so that prevents him from being high and dry. So overall, feeling pretty good. Got a good little rescue going. And now got to get back to the other turtle and figure out what I'm gonna do, because that's a new turtle and I'd love to add it to my data set. All right, so I got everything worked up on this turtle. We got weight measurements, we got a tag, we got a mark on the shell, so it's ready to go back into its habitat, into this clear rocky stream. Adios, amigo. Look at that, instantly blends in if you don't look at the tail. Such an awesome animal.